Hey Gillette, Steve and I are back with FAQs, frequently asked questions. One that we get asked as we go to list houses is, how do I choose the best listing price for my house? The first thing would be for an agent to come do a market analysis. And what that entails is we pull 3 sold comps within 3 months, but we don't like to really go back more than 6 months. So we can see what has most recently sold that has compared to your home. And then we actually pull active comps too, or maybe even some pending comps, depending on what's available out there, to try to see what those price differences are. Usually in that sold comps that we pull, there's a price range there that we can look at and see where we best fit. And I'll let Steve kind of keep going on that too.
So you look at the range, but the other things to consider is, what's your motivation? How quick do you need to sell? What's your timeline look like? Are you moving out of state or wanting to move into another house? So you have to judge where that is, and you can't list at the very top dollar, stretch it. Say the CMA comes in a certain range, you want to list above that range, plus expect the house to sell right away, get top dollar, you know. So it is always good to communicate with your agent about what your wants and needs are and how it can best help you fit into the market.
Yeah, and we try to come in and we ask you a lot of questions too. Maybe things that you don't think of that will help us better set your price for your house too, so.
Yep. Another question we get frequently is, what are the hidden costs when buying a home? So when you go to buy a home, you have the purchase price, obviously, but then with that, you're gonna have earnest money, and that is gonna be credited towards the purchase price. You discuss that with your agent as far as what amount you wanna put down for earnest money. You'll have an inspection cost, which is gonna be around $350 on up to $900, just depending on what all you have inspected. And then appraisal, if your lender requires for the appraisal to be paid up front, then you have to do that.
And then, your lender has their fees along with, we have prorations for taxes and insurance, and that varies. So all that is included in your lender's costs there. So it's a good conversation to have with your lender to see if those costs are gonna need to be covered for you or not, because it's really important when you go to put in an offer if you're gonna need those closing costs or not. So it can be a big deal.
And along with closing costs, we get the question from sellers.
Yeah.
What are their closing costs? And standard closing costs for a seller are typically the commission, providing a title insurance policy that makes sure a buyer's getting free and clear title, any taxes that need to be paid, and if you have already paid them, then you are going to get a credit back at closing. But then we bring in the fact of buyers.
Right.
May ask for the closing costs covered as well.
Yeah, so those buyers, that could be $5,000 up to $10,000 that ends up coming off of your net proceeds. A seller's not actually writing a check for that, just coming off their proceeds at closing. So that can be a factor as well. Sometimes that's not always fun for a seller, but it can make or break a deal. So be something to be prepared for.
Well, these are 3 common questions we get a lot. We wanted to answer them. If there are any questions you have, please send us a message, comment down below. What questions do you want us to answer here? And we'll make sure we answer it next month. If you have any questions, want to get into the real estate market, please feel free to reach out. Give us a call, 307-670-9222.